Today we're going to be talking about one of the most controversial characters within the whole of the Harry Potter fandom. Some believe that he's a hero, while others think that he's a despicable human being. I'm of course referring to Severus Snape. Even those who seem to believe that Snape has redeemed himself cannot deny that he was an absolutely horrible man for most of the books, especially towards those in Gryffindor house. He had clear favourites who were almost always within his own Slytherin house. He held a grudge against Harry for simply looking like his own childhood bully, but possibly most deplorably was his constant bullying of the innocent Neville Longbottom. Severus Snape was an ex-Death Eater who served as Hogwarts Potion Master between 1981 and 1996. Then, in the 1996-97 school year, he took up the position of Defence Against the Dark Arts Professor. Snape was a man of very high standards, shown by his outstanding OWL requirement to continue studying potions beyond the 5th year. As we know, Neville was not the most gifted at potions. Maybe this was why Snape hated him so much. This makes sense for about all of 2 seconds until you realise that Neville was not the only subpar student within Snape's class. Harry and Ron regularly turn in poor or even troll level work, and Crabbe and Goyle can't seem to make anything other than a sludge. Snape even admits in his very first lesson with the class in first year that very few people would understand the subtle art of potion making. Yet Neville seems to be harassed so much for his poor potions work. Some of those clear examples of this bullying are when Snape threatens to feed one of Neville's potions to his own pet toad Trevor. Snape gleefully proclaims to the class that if the potion is done wrong, it could poison the toad to death. The most clear example of this constant and damaging bullying is in the Prisoner of Azkaban in Defence Against the Dark Arts lesson when the class are studying Boggarts. Neville faces the Boggart first, and it turns into the one and only Severus Snape. Let me put this into context for you. Snape is Neville's own teacher. Neville is more scared of his own potions teacher than Bellatrix Lestrange, the woman who tortured his parents beyond insanity. This shows just how constant and horrible Snape's bullying of Neville was. But why does he do this? You know it can't be Neville's lack of skill. So what was it? I think it all starts in an upstairs room of the Hog's Head pub in 1980, where Albus Dumbledore is interviewing soon-to-be Hogwarts divination professor Sybil Trelawney. Unbeknownst to them, there is a greasy-haired Death Eater listening at the door. That man is, of course, Severus Snape. I'm, of course, referring to the conception of the prophecy. The prophecy is uttered by an out-of-mind Trelawney that night, and it reads as follows. The one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord approaches, born to those who have Christified him, born as the 7th month dies, and the Dark Lord will mark him as his equal, but he will have power that the Dark Lord knows not, and either must die at the hand of the other, for neither can live while the other survives. The one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord will be born as the 7th month dies. The prophecy, as we all know, refers to Harry Potter, but could also have referred to another boy, born just one day after our main hero, and that, of course, is Neville Longbottom. Voldemort chose to kill Harry because he, like Voldemort, was a half-blood, and Voldemort possibly identified that as the more dangerous threat. I'm sure that once he had dispatched of Harry, he would then go on to kill the other boy, Neville Longbottom. However, Voldemort lacked one piece of information, one teeny tiny little piece of information, but the most important piece. And that piece was something that his spy at the door failed to retrieve. This key piece of the prophecy is the line that stated, "The Dark Lord shall mark him as his equal." However, Snape, who was listening at the door, was detected by Dumbledore. Missing this key piece of information is the difference between Snape keeping the woman he loves alive and Voldemort winning the First Wizarding War, and the situation that we now find ourselves in. As much as some of you may believe that Snape turned himself around and redeemed himself and turned to the good side, had he had the opportunity to save Lily Evans, I'm sure of it that he would have stayed as Voldemort's right-hand man. Contrary to popular belief, prophecies in the Harry Potter world do not have to be fulfilled. As shown in the Department of Mysteries, There was a huge hall full of prophecies, and there's no way that all of them could have come true. Had Snape gone undetected for just a few more seconds, Voldemort would have received this piece of information and would have realised that he needn't attack either of the boys, as he would not have marked him as the equal, and the prophecy would never have been fulfilled. Having understood this, Voldemort decides to attack neither family, and so doesn't lose his power, and asserts wizarding dominance in Britain. The mere existence of Neville is a constant reminder to Snape that Voldemort not only chose to kill the Potters instead of the Longbottoms, but also that it was Snape's fault that he attacked either in the first place, having not retrieved the crucial piece of information for his master. Snape, therefore, decides to take out his anger and guilt on Neville as a coping mechanism. Well, there you go. What did you think? Do you agree that this is why Snape bullies Neville? Or is it just because Neville is absolutely atrocious at potions? That's it for now. I hope to see you in the next video.